But is cheese actually healthy? Hey everyone, I'm Abbey Sharp. Welcome to Abby's Kitchen. Today's video is sponsored by Ritual, and we'll be taking a look at actress and lifestyle YouTuber Lauren Giraldo. But first, let me tell you about my sponsor, Ritual. So first of all, I'm not pregnant anymore, and I'm finally finished breastfeeding, but I officially got my period back after 20 years of not having a natural period, and that means anything could happen. Now, I also know a lot of you are actively trying to conceive or are already pregnant or are recently postpartum and looking to maintain your health during this new phase of life. I know the supplement world is really overwhelming, but I like Ritual's prenatal because it's third-party tested and it has 12 high-quality nutrients like methylated fourth generation folate, B12, D3, and omega-3. Ritual is all about focusing their multivitamins on the nutrients you actually need, and they're really transparent about where they source their nutrients from and why, as well as their environmental impact. So for example, they use 100% recycled materials in their packaging, and their mailers are made from recycled newsprint and plant fibers. Their multi is also vegan, gluten-free, allergen-free, with no colorants, added sugar, additives, or unlisted ingredients. And these ones have a delayed release capsule design. They also have a regular multivitamin for men and women, a 50+ option, a postnatal option, and one specifically for teens. But it's super convenient because they just deliver it right to your door as part of a subscription. So even when you're having super mom brain, you won't run out. So if your New Year's resolution is to conceive, or you just want to fill in some of those potential nutritional gaps with a multi, you can use my promo code and check out the link in the description to get 10% off of your first 3 months of Ritual. Okay, back to the video. And you can pause the screen or look at my description to check out my disclaimer, including a trigger warning to those with current or previous experiences with disordered eating. As always, please feel free to skip this video if it's not supportive to your journey. And of course, do not forget to subscribe to this channel and ring that little bell so that you never miss out on an episode. All right, let's get into it.
This is not gonna be 3 pieces of crackers and like 1 cheese and then like 2 grains of rice and then I'm so full. I think I eat a lot and I love eating.
Okay, so I love this little preface right here. It's as if she's watched a few problematic What I Eat in a Days herself, or maybe my reviews have said What I Eat in a Days, and she's acknowledging that that's not her vibe. I am looking forward to this.
Okay, so this is pre-breakfast. Cheese, crackers, apples, and grapes.
It's like the pregame.
Okay, so as a pre-game to breakfast, which let's be real is amazing, Lauren has a cheese box from Starbucks on her way to the grocery store. And I already love that she's keeping it real and acknowledging the reality that sometimes your fridge just is not fully stocked with perfect ripe avocados, and sometimes breakfast is not going to be an Instagrammable smoothie bowl. But as she mentions, this little box is a great little hunger crushing combo. You're getting protein and fat from the cheese, plus carbs and fiber from the fruit and crackers. Starbucks has saved me many a times.
Primal Kitchen, who I am personally obsessed with because you can keep eating great tasting, amazing food without having to compromise a bunch of random ingredients. All their stuff is made without gluten, dairy, sugar, soy, and canola oil. Long story short, you don't have to settle for bad ingredients if you want your food to taste good and exciting.
Okay, first off, I love Primal Kitchen's products, so no shade to them. And I get that this is an ad read and some of these key words were probably in Primal Kitchen's messaging deck, but I still don't think we need to call out gluten, dairy, sugar, soy, and canola oil as being random ingredients. I don't think there's anything random or even bad about any of these things. Sure, it's fine to call them out for folks with dairy or gluten intolerances, for example, but I still don't think that makes them bad. It makes them just not right for that person. We can shift the language here.
A major key in the avocado toast is getting sliced sourdough. I have tried all different kinds of breads, and personally, I think sourdough tastes the best. And I heard something, don't quote me on this because it's probably not factual, but apparently sourdough is the easiest one to digest.
The girl is 100% 100% right. I totally agree that sourdough hits different, both from a flavor and nutritional perspective, thanks to the fermentation process. So fermentation helps reduce the anti-nutrient phytate content in sourdough by 24 to 50%, which therefore improves nutrient absorption. So even though the nutrition profile of sourdough bread is similar to that of conventional breads on paper, the nutrients may be more optimally absorbed. As for digestion, research suggests that the fermentation process not only produces prebiotic and probiotic properties, but it also partially breaks down gluten, making it easier to tolerate for folks with gluten or FODMAP sensitivity. Now, it is not gluten-free, so it's not appropriate for folks with celiac or diagnosed gluten intolerance, but might be tolerated better for some in small amounts.
Usually I'll use half of one, some avocado or olive oil, fresh lime, and seasoning. Then I put on a layer of pesto, avocado, everything but the bagel seasoning, and my personal favorite part, the sprinkle of Parmesan cheese.
Okay, I get why she's famous for the toast. I love that we're getting some healthy fats from the avocado and pesto, protein and fat from the eggs and cheese, and some carbs from the sourdough bread. Lazy and quick does not have to mean flavorless and boring. Now you know.
Because as much as I want to be healthy, I love me some cheese. Also, like, cheese isn't unhealthy, is it? Like, is cheese unhealthy? I don't think it is.
Well, she did not exactly ask me for my professional opinion, but I think she's going to like it anyway. No, girl, cheese is not inherently unhealthy. In fact, cheese is a source of calcium, protein, and fat, as well as other vitamins and minerals like vitamins A, B12, phosphorus, and zinc. The only circumstance in which you could argue that it's unhealthy is if you have a lactose intolerance or a casein protein allergy. And in the case of lactose intolerance, a lot of folks can still enjoy smaller quantities of lower lactose cheeses like her beloved Parmesan, or lean on lactose enzyme supplements to aid in digestion. But regardless, cheese has likely gotten a bad reputation because of its caloric density and fat content. However, if you were to compare a handful of cheese cubes to a handful of almonds, which is generally considered a healthy food, cheese is actually lower in calories and fat. Now, what about the fact that it's a saturated fat? Well, I got a whole video on saturated fats right here because it is dense.
It's so dense, every single image has so many things going on.
But in short, the research on saturated fat is highly controversial and inconclusive. One review on cheese consumption specifically actually found no relationship or a very weak inverse relationship between dairy products and heart disease. So consuming cheese isn't an immediate risk, but we do know that replacing that cheese or saturated fat with more unsaturated fats in the diet seems to confer some additional benefits. So what does this mean in real life?
Is this real life?
Well, exactly what Lauren did. She had avocado toast with pesto, which is a nut-based spread packed with unsaturated fats like the avocado as well, and then topped that with a little saturated fat packed cheese. A+. Ultimately, I say let's focus on what we can add rather than take away. So if cheese is something that you enjoy it with other healthy fats in the rotation.
Now we're like very into our farm fresh eggs because there's not processed at all.
Farm fresh eggs are supposed to be like amazing for you.
The world of eggs is overwhelming as f. It is so hard to know what's best from an ethical and nutritional perspective amidst the cage-free, free-range, organic, pasture-fed claims plastered across every carton. Now, for the most part, these terms have actual criteria that they need to meet, which is often a lot more lenient than you might think. But farm fresh, that's not a regulated term. This literally means nothing at all. It's basically just marketing because ultimately all eggs come from some kind of farm. But assuming these eggs are organic and pasture fed, the consensus is that organic eggs are slightly higher in protein compared to conventional eggs. And there is some research suggesting that pastured eggs are higher in vitamin A, E, and omega-3s. So if you can get that 2-for-1 combo in an egg carton, then technically yes, I guess you could say they do have a nutritional edge. And I also always do love to support a good local farmer.
I used to never be an energy drink type of person. Like they would make me feel jittery. But now I am fully into it. Like I love it.
So while a Celsius energy drink is low in sugar, it typically has about 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is equivalent to 2 cups of coffee. So yeah, if you're sensitive to caffeine, but you want like a little boost of energy pre-workout, a half isn't a bad place to start. I know I cannot even handle any caffeine after noon, but that's just me. Can we all find ourselves a partner who feeds us mangoes like this? No, but really. For a post-workout snack, mangoes are a great fast-acting carb, which will help to replenish energy stores post-workout. And she did have about 15 grams of protein pre-workout, which is likely within the 4-hour anabolic window for muscle protein synthesis. And we've got like another meal on the way, so yeah, this little post-workout quickie snack works for me.
Okay, I don't understand people that purposely choose chicken breast.
Unless you're like bodybuilding, counting every single calorie or something like that.
If I buy chicken and I open it and there's a ton of that, I'm like, jackpot.
I do appreciate that for once, someone isn't scared of fat. And I agree. A good chicken thigh is always going to be superior to the breast in the flavor department.
Flavor Town!
And even for calorie counters, I really don't think this is a huge deal. Like a 4-ounce portion of chicken thighs has only 50 calories more than a 4-ounce serving of chicken breast. So I think that that's something most people could easily work into their caloric budget for the day.
I have an iron deficiency, okay? So instead of taking iron pills, I'll like randomly eat salt from various locations. It's like an iron deficiency thing. It's like a quirk. I don't know why we do it.
So Lauren is likely experiencing something known as pica, which is an abnormal craving for a non-food item, which is often related to nutrient deficiencies like iron. However, pica cravings are not exclusive to salt and can extend to really random textures and tastes like clay, dirt, or soap.
Ew, that's gross!
And while craving a bit of extra salt is benign compared to the other cases, as her partner said, eating the salt doesn't actually fix the issue. So we would of course want to prioritize treating the underlying iron deficiency, and that means focusing on iron-rich foods like animal protein, beans, legumes, nuts, tofu, leafy greens, fortified cereals, and dark chocolate, and then pairing that with a source of vitamin C. So that could look like a tofu stir fry with bell peppers, like a lentil soup or bean chili with a squeeze of lime on top, or some dark chocolate squares with some fruit as a snack. As for supplements, chelated iron, or iron bisglycinate, is absorbed by the body like the gold standard ferrous iron, but it is easier on sensitive tummies. So that might be worth trying or exploring if iron from food just isn't enough. Everything about this still frame is amazing. We've got protein from the chicken, which is great for iron and post-workout muscle recovery, fiber-rich carbs in the potatoes and the microwavable rice, healthy fats and fiber in the avocado, and some more fat in the cooking oil that she used. This is perfect post-workout meal. All I might suggest is adding some kind of veggie or fruit in here for a little vitamin C, plus the antioxidants, and we know that that vitamin C also helps with the absorption of iron. Also, I am so happy to see the calorie counting disclaimer here because, yeah, I did kind of feel that was kind of off-brand for her.
Tonight is a bit of a special occasion, so I decided to treat myself with a bowl of wine, apparently. I know this isn't what I eat in a day, but I'm not hungry at the moment, and I don't even think I want dinner. I think the cheese box was low-key my breakfast today.
I think it's great that Lauren is honoring her hunger here and not forcing herself to eat dinner when she's not hungry or just for the sake of filming a what I eat in a day. And second, given that she technically did have kind of a breakfast with the Starbucks cheese box, it makes sense that she wouldn't feel like a fourth meal on top of that. So I don't read this as she's intentionally restricting meals or overeating for the sake of her video. She's just listening to her body, honoring that she doesn't feel hungry right now, and keeping that door open if and when her hunger does creep in. So with that said, what are my overall thoughts on Lauren's diet? So based on our rough calculations on this particular day, Lauren consumed approximately 2,000 calories, which likely falls within her needs. Ultimately, these are just rough guidelines, and it does look like Lauren is pretty in tune with what her body needs. If she craved more calories after her workout or that fourth meal, I do feel confident that she would have just listened and ate rather than suppressed or restricted. Her video actually felt quite authentic and real, and I don't see that often here on YouTube. So I didn't see her put a lot of pressure on herself to create these like perfect Instagrammable meals. She shared her little shortcuts for getting simple and satisfying meals on the table fast, and I love that. And even when she did provide some nutrition commentary, she did so from a place of curiosity, and it didn't feel prescriptive or like it was coming from a weight loss lens. Honestly, I think Lauren is super cute, fun, and probably someone I will continue to watch. So on that note, that is all that I have for you guys today. Thank you again to Ritual for sponsoring this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it the thumbs up. Leave me a comment below on who you'd like to see me review next. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time on Abby's Kitchen. Bye!